Hello, electronics aficionados. Okay, so last time we talked about an active peak detector, so that you can like drive, for instance, a like an audio level if your input is some audio source. So that's one application. So okay, so here I'm showing what I usually do when I do electronics. I always like create modules so that I can easily uh, use them in different applications. So for instance, this one is can you see that? No, okay, maybe not. So it's a LM386 preamp, gain equal 20, and I made a video about the LM386. So I will put a link for that video somewhere on the screen. But let's move on. So let me show you what it looks like. So what I do is that, okay, of course I have the circuit. So here it's soldered on a perf. I don't think it's called a perf board. It's like it's called like a solderable breadboard, because it looks exactly like a breadboard. Let me show you. Okay. So this is the breadboard, and it's exactly the same. Okay, maybe I can show you the actual stuff. So it's from a company, and I'm not being paid by them. It's called ElectroCookie. And if I take them out, you're gonna see it's exactly like, and you can even have very small ones. It's like a breadboard. It's exactly like a breadboard. So this is the breadboard. Okay, and this is the solderable, the one that you can solder, and it's from ElectroCookie. And it's exactly the same spacing. So whatever you do here, if you do it neatly, you can just transfer here, and then you can create a nice looking circuit. All right, let's move on. So this is my circuit. So this is the LM386 preamp, and this is, I don't know if you can see it, that's the electret condenser microphone. So that's my supply. So I use 9-volt batteries, and this is my output here. So usually I say what is out minus, what is out plus, although you really don't have to here. It's nice to use red for plus and black for negative, of course, if you can. And I always put the schematics of the thing. That's what I have here is exactly what's in there. And I might put some notes, I don't know. Here I have the 386 layout, so it's very easy to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. So that's one module. Today I'm going to use that as my input for the other module. So the other module, let's move on to the other module. So that's my other module. So this one, I use Ziploc bags, of course, peak detector, active peak detector, using two, not just one, but two op amps, two 741s, 741. So again, I use that thing, that breadboard that can be soldered. It's very nice. The quality is very good. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. And again, so here, if you look at it, you have the two op amps here. So you have your input here, battery supply, output there. So this output can go to a ammeter, so that you get the needle moving, or you can just feed it to a LED, which I have here in the bag, and this is just a resistor I'm going to use to limit the current. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's get this thing working. And again, I have the schematics. And I also made a video about this active peak detector with the two op amps. And I will put a link to that video right now, most likely. Okay, so this is done. Now let's hook up the two circuits. So let's put the supply, battery supply, 9 volts. That's easy. Okay. Let's do the supply for the other one. Same thing. Okay, so yeah. Okay, it's a bit cramped here. And now I have to connect the output of my preamp to the input of the peak detector. So here you can clearly see that this guy, I don't know if you can see, to be honest, but there is like a black wire here that goes to the minus, so you know that it's going to be the minus. So this one is easy, and the plus is the other one. So that's your I hope it's okay. And the output, what am I going to do for the output? So the output, let me get this thing, and let's for now just use a LED. I'm going to use a LED. So the positive, okay, let's put it, doesn't really matter where you put it. Let's put it here. We're going to put the resistor that limits the current that goes into the LED or whatever else. I'm going to put here. I'm going to put the LED right there. And I'm going to complete. Come on, you. Okay. So now you can just complete the circuit. Yeah. So that's this one is like the resistor that limits the current. I think it's a 47 ohms. So in theory, so whenever you put sound here, basically the peak detector goes like so the input is basically a sine wave, pretty much. So when you go through the peak, it's gonna be like a highly variable DC. So at each peak is gonna go here, then it's gonna droop and go back up. So that's what you see here. So what you can do, instead of having an LED, you can put a ammeter, and that gives you like a VU meter. Also, instead of that single LED, you could put like I don't know, maybe 10 LEDs, 10 LEDs, and those would be driven by a voltage divider and a bunch of op amps used as comparators. But there is a IC that does all that for you in one package. I think it's the 3915 or 3914. Look it up on eBay or Amazon, and then you don't need to worry about all those comparators. But it can give you like a nice 10 LED VU meter. But I forgot to bring the ammeter, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So I even brought back the radio. Okay, so this is my ammeter. You can get those on Amazon for like 2 for $10. So it goes to 30 milliamps, which is perfect here. I mean, you still have to probably put a limiting current, a resistor to limit the current, like you did on the LED. But let's connect. Hopefully I brought everything. So I brought some jumpers. Those you need to when you do breadboards, so you always have them. So I'm gonna have to. Okay, so the blue is gonna be my positive, and then I don't need this one. Yeah. Okay, so let's connect. I need some alligator clips. I'm gonna connect this one to the positive of my, I think it's this guy. That's the positive, and then you need another one, which is gonna go on the negative side to this guy. So that should work, hopefully. And it's better if I put it like this. So you get the same idea, except here now you have a VU meter. I'm gonna put it here. It's not super in focus, but that will do. Oh, hold on. Let's not make a mess here. Okay. So let's put something on the rear. I'm gonna try to find something that's not copyright crazy. So here you can see, it's reacting to whatever. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. No point going further. Let me get this crap somewhere else, or maybe not. Just so active peak detector. It's very simple. Huh? You have the input. It goes through the op amp, and you have two diodes, and you have the capacitor, and that's the capacitor that's doing the groundwork, because this is up to here. It's only like an active rectifier. So when you put the capacitor, it's holding the high, and then it droops a little bit. So this resistance here allows the charge to go down. Otherwise the level, if there was infinite resistance here, which is not true, but it's a very high resistance going in here, the level would stay very high. It would not droop. It would not go down. So this resistance allows the capacitor to discharge a little bit. And here this is called a buffer op amp. This is just to isolate the output. Because here I put RL. This is RL here, across here, from the out to the ground. And this can get pretty small, so you want to isolate in order not to create any loading effect. Okay. So that's the peak detector. If you want to go through the preamp, I mean, it's very simple. The 386. If you don't do anything to it, it's a 20x, 20 times. So here the mic is an electret condenser, so it needs a. Here I put like a voltage divider as the power supply. I'm sure I could have done it something different. So 2 volt, 2.2 k ohm. That's what it says on the datasheet. And you have that the capacitor here, of course. So that gives you a very low signal here. When you talk into it, maybe 10 millivolts peak. So when you go through the preamp, the LM386, and here you can see the high pass filter, so that you only get the AC, get rid of the DC. So here at the output here, I get probably I don't want to say something stupid, but maybe 400 millivolts here. Yeah, probably 400 millivolts, maybe peak to peak, but it's good enough to drive something else. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. And as I said, I made videos about those two subjects, and here this video was just to show you. I mean, nothing fancy. Okay, if you like this kind of content, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will try to make more. See ya!